Join Master of Menace Remark Maloney and the OG guy being Dude Aiden Maloney as they explore movies, music, food, and nightlife on The Mark Mo Show. With segments like You Just Made the List, Carpe DM, and The 15, each episode is loaded with shenanigans, tomfoolery, and chaos. We hope you enjoy the show.
Hey there, everybody. What's up? Welcome to Season 1, Episode 9 of the Mark Mo Show podcast. My name is Mark Maloney. I'm your host, and along with me, co-host and host of his very own show, AK219, Aiden Maloney. Aiden, how you doing, man?
Doing pretty fantastic. Excited for this weekend starting. Got a tattoo yesterday. Well, I got a tattoo started yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Which is very exciting. So I'll have that finished next month. I'll have a new tattoo on top of that one. So I'm continuing the tat journey.
I love that. And I'm doing that as well. A little bit slower in the process, but as time goes on, I'll keep adding. I kind of went reverse on mine. I started with my hands and kind of worked my way up.
Right.
So I've got 3 hand tattoos and 1 wrist tattoo. Tattoo we got together on my birthday.
True.
And I'm just going to kind of keep moving up the old arm.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I just wish they weren't so expensive, but I completely understand why they are, you know? Like the amount of experience and the tools and renting out little offices. So I get it, but at the same time, it's like, I just wish I had more money for them.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah, which is why it takes time to add them.
Right.
But, for now, I'm doing smaller ones, so they're not as pricey. But I realize as I move up my arm and they get bigger, you're getting into, $200 and $300 and $400 tats. And that's
something to save up for.
That's something to save up for, agreed. That takes a little bit. But anyway, awesome. Cool on tats. And so talk to me about AK219. So you have a co-host. His name is Kevin Boland, and so MIA, have we found him?
Not sure. Yeah, as many of you listener out there know, AK219's been a little quiet recently, and I don't know where Kevin's at. I'm not entirely sure, but I've been uploading to my personal channel, Aiden Spelled the Right Way. So if you're itching for that type of content, you can always check out my channel. But yeah, AK219 will come back at some point. Once we get Kevin out of whatever hole he's stuck in, or
there's always risks with his spelunking. So,
that is true.
He's in a cave somewhere, I'm sure.
It's the one thing they say about Kev. Man, he's always in a hole.
He's always in a hole. Always in a hole. I mean, we may fill it someday, but he's in there. He's in there for sure.
My man.
But so there's so much content on AK219, even though there's nothing new recently. Huge catalog, so
big backlog, yeah.
Big backlog, so definitely check that out for sure. And other than that, check out my radio show, After Hours. That is on at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on Tuesday nights, and then Friday afternoons at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. It is on 103.1 FM locally here in the Valparaiso, Indiana area. You can also catch it on your handheld device on the TuneIn app. You can also catch it at WVLP.org. That is a website, and there's a stream there, so you can catch it there as well. And we do Celtic punk, we do alt rock, mostly. So a little bit different when it came to the high holiday seasons of St. Paddy's Day. We did all sorts of different Irish music for a week or two there. But it's been really great. It's been a good show. People like it. So if you like alt rock music, which I think the past 3 years and change has been some of the best stuff I think they've done in that genre in a very, very long time. Like some great bands, some great albums, and so check it out.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And
check it out.
For all you foreign listeners out there, shout out Philippines.
No doubt.
If you're not super familiar with Celtic punk or alternative rock, it's the perfect place to get a large amount of it.
Absolutely. Check out the music. It's a good time. Not as much chit-chat. We save most of our chit-chat for AK219 and the Mark Mo Show. Just a little bit of chatting between the music, but mostly just music and having having a really good time. So I know some of the bands have been getting into Glass Animals quite a bit. They're on tour this summer. I would love to see them. I really like them. Dexter and the Moonrocks. I've been listening to them lately. I really like them, and just a lot of good bands out there right now.
A lot of good music, yeah.
Yep, there definitely is. So, all right, well, we're gonna get going here, and here's the thing, Aiden. Have you ever wake up with like feelings of impending doom? And I know that's extreme, probably, maybe not, but like your gut's just telling you that like there's some disturbance in the force. And even though you have no idea why these feelings are like kind of taking you over,
yep,
it's just like it's the universe or something like telling you, oh yeah, it's gonna be that day.
This one's gonna be a ride.
You might as well prep yourself because
right.
this is gonna be a shit show.
Very true. Yeah. Usually it's a little more existential for me, where it's like my brain is too focused on big picture things like national and international news. That's just like, oh yeah, things could fall apart any day now.
Sure.
And nothing can mean anything if, we're all caught in a nuclear winter where we all die off. And then I realize, like, maybe it's not that big a deal. So I kind of feel where you're getting from, but kind of in a more existential, big picture way,
big
for
picture,
sure. Yeah.
Definitely big picture. Well, I know last 2 weeks for me have kind of been that way. Work, shit. Personal life, shit. And this happens to me more than I'd like. I mean, I'm sure it happens to everybody, but like lately, it's like enough. It's like when can I get off the ride? It's enough. And I know for many of you, it's like I said, it's a lot less. But it seems like it's now like a monthly occurrence, maybe even more frequently than that. And I'm completely convinced there's somebody on this planet that has a Mark Mo voodoo doll somewhere, or somebody's put a hex on me, and we need to find that witch, and we need to turn that shit around.
Right.
I can't explain it. It causes things that make my happy go away, and that's not good. And work, holy shit, it's almost its own shit show. But I swear I can't have more than 3 consecutive happy, productive days in a row. It's just, I swear to God, and I don't know why. And normally I'm a happy dude. People who know me are just like, he's a happy-go-lucky guy. He's always thinking of others before himself and this and that. But holy shit, I mean, it's just like, it causes exhaustion, frustration, anxiety, depression, all that shit. And like, there's just some nights over the past couple of weeks, I'm literally falling asleep. I'm out with friends and I'm falling asleep because I'm just so over all the bullshit. I'm just exhausted.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can caffeine up. It helps a little bit, but ultimately, like, my body is ready to shut down. And it's crazy. So it's like, I guess the main question is like, what do you do? That, I suppose that's the right question, right? Like, what do you do? If shit's going sideways in your life, change the people, change the job, perhaps leave town, change everything at once. I mean, all those options seem to be on the table.
Right.
I wish there was a simple answer to a complex problem. There's not, of course. I wish the person with the Mark Mo voodoo doll would get hit by a bus, fall down a ravine, get mauled by a bear. I really do. Like all of those things. I need that to happen. And yes, all in that order. So what have you done, Aiden? So when shit goes sideways in your life, whether it's minimally or like a bunch of things at once, what do you do? Do you have a plan? Is it like, do you sit there and be like, okay, this, and this, we need to do that? Or do you kind of have the attitude like, fuck, I'm just going to ride this out and things naturally change course on their own? Like, how do you view it and what do you do?
I think it depends on what type of situation I'm in mentally, because you mentioned both depressive and anxious stresses, and I feel like I experience those two very differently than each other. So if I'm in a real anxious stress, then I can't relax, right? So I'll just busy myself, right? I'll clean the floors, I'll do some kind of busy work, right?
Yep.
Until like my brain and body calm down, and then I can like relax, eat food, whatever else. Whereas if it's a more depressive stress, I find myself just like chilling on the couch watching anything mind-numbing, right? Just to avoid the occurrence of a thought happening, always two screening it, big TV on, small phone in my hand. So it's, granted, that's not necessarily a healthy answer to the question. It's just what I find
but it's
myself.
How you manage.
Right. It's the coping mechanisms I've fallen into. And as far as like playing versus writing it out, I rarely have a plan for most things, because I just find myself in situations where improvising tends to work out.
Sure.
So making a plan has never necessarily been a necessity. But yeah, I think recognizing what type of stress is affecting me is key, because if it's an anxious stress, I know, okay, I'm going to be up today. I'm going to be up doing stuff until this passes. Whereas if it's a depressive stress, coping by doom scrolling or watching TV for 8 hours, not healthy. So I try and break myself from that by, sitting down, recording YouTube videos or editing things, anything like that, to where I'm still idle, but I'm not doing nothing, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So it's about finding the balance between habitual coping mechanisms and turning them into productive ones.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That I find works best for me.
That's really interesting. Yeah, I've yet to find the perfect solution. Sometimes, and this is just, we're here in Northwest Indiana. I know we got listeners all over the world, but, maybe some of you guys do the same thing, where you just find a corner of your world to just go exist. Like for me, it's this really big park north of town. There's big lakes and big trees and the whole thing, and walking paths and all that. And especially that it's like, it's not summertime. Summertime, it tends to get a little busier there, but like it's not busy now, so you can walk around. There's not too many people. And you can kind of just breathe the fresh air and just try to kind of work things out. But I kind of find this too, and it used to help quite a bit. When I was in a situation in Florida, I was told to do a wide variety of things to help out. One of those was, you are 10 minutes away from the Gulf of Mexico. Why are you not there every day?
Excellent. Fair point.
Excellent point.
Yeah.
And I would go there and just hang out and meet people, but more importantly, just sit there and just let the breeze hit your face and listen to the waves and the birds and the whole thing. And it was helpful. And even a little bit here in the Midwest, we have Lake Michigan. It's a big lake and kind of the same deal. But I find lately that it hasn't been helping as much, because now I'm just alone in my own thoughts. If those thoughts aren't good, there's no environment that I feel is going to help with that. That's been the challenging part. So to your point, maybe just being busy, maybe just doing something, focusing on something else kind of gets your head out of whatever space you're in,
right,
and doing something else. So I think you have some really good points there, because, what maybe worked one time in another situation isn't always going to work.
Sure. Yeah. People change, so their coping mechanisms, what does and doesn't work, will also change. But what I mentioned also isn't a cure-all, right? Because people react to stresses differently.
Sure.
So that's just what works for me. I would recommend it because it's worked for me, but I'm only one person. But the B in that whole scenario is that it works, but it also has a positive result of stuff getting done,
Oh, sure.
Where, especially if it's like that anxious stress, which I feel tends to happen in my life more than depressive stresses, where I'm just anxious for no reason. Sometimes it just comes in a wave, and I'm like, I'm almost like shot up out of my seat. I'm like, oh, whoa, like whatever happened in my brain created a physiological reaction. I cannot sit down right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And just doing stuff helps, So it works for me. It's worth a shot,
Yeah, no doubt. And
it doesn't cost any money, and you don't
Right.
need pharmaceuticals for it.
Right, exactly. And that's one thing in my life that I've avoided are the pills of various kinds to help. Oh, it's a chemical imbalance. It's this, it's that. And I'm kind of like, well, number one, we're all human.
Sure.
So the chemicals are all the same. It's not like humans have different chemicals. We're all made up the same way. So that being said, why would I need some pharmaceutical to balance me out?
Unless the receptors are receiving or sending different quantities.
Unless there's really
yeah.
like a physical problem, that requires pills or surgery or whatever the case is. But for me, it's like you're giving me a pill to kind of, it's not going to resolve it. I mean, pills mask. That's what they do. That's their job. They mask whatever the problem is. Rarely does it, here, take this pill, it's going to fix everything. Well, no, it's just going to mask it.
Right. And then you need to take it for the rest of your life.
And you take it for the rest of your life, and then at what point does that dose not do it anymore? And then you're taking
Right.
other doses, or then you're taking different. But it's just, I don't want to get into that. I remember before my parents passed and we were cleaning out the house, they had more pill bottles in their house between the two of them. I can't even begin to describe it. I really can't. They're probably threw away 30 pill bottles.
Damn.
And they're taking pills for this and then pills for that, and then those pills create this, so you got to take pills for that. It's stupid. And even when it comes to something psychological like this or mental health, whatever, I'm hesitant to do that. I would almost rather figure it out on my own, talk to someone licensed who can help get your thoughts in order.
Sure.
I don't know. That's just kind of the way that I look at it. And it's frustrating because, a lot of things a lot of times, at least for me, you end up blaming yourself for a lot of things because it's your life. So how you're reacting to something, you just kind of blame yourself for that. But then you even just because of whatever event has taken place that has caused it, then you end up blaming yourself for the event, which 8-9 times out of 10 is not the case, but you end up doing it anyway.
Sure, yeah.
Some form of self-sabotage, I suppose. I don't know, but it's frustrating because if it's just an occurrence or an event, those happen, and to me it's like you get over those. But when it involves like another human being, whatever that is, whether it's a relationship or a friendship or a work colleague or whatever the case is, it's like another human being. And when you get to be adults, it's tougher to change people. It's tougher to change people's behavior. It can be done, but it's much more challenging. And if the problem exists with that other human being, there's really not too many other choices but to either A, confront it, see if you can fix it, or B, end that situation altogether because
Right.
it's just not good for you.
Yeah.
And I've run into a few situations like that, over the course of the last 6 months or whatever, and it really, it's exhausting. It's exhausting. And I know some people probably don't get it, or people that aren't currently experiencing that. They're, oh man, just get over it. Well, really? Okay. And it's everybody reacts differently to different situations.
Right.
And when it comes to people, especially if you care for them deeply, it's tougher than you'd think.
Sure.
Because then it makes you question everything. It makes you question your judgment and your ability to make or want friends, and it's messed up. It's really messed up, and I don't think people look at it as deeply as I've been looking at it. But it all kind of works together in this whole disturbance that I've been talking about, and it makes it really hard. In many ways, you say, I'm single, my kids are grown, I have a job, but it's not like I love it. It's the end-all be-all job. It's just a job, and why not just go? Why not just? I don't own a home. I wouldn't have to sell it.
Right.
It's very easy to just be like, take a weekend, throw 90% of your shit away, and just go. you know, and it's and I think we had talked about that off podcast, like the appeal to that.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Now does that necessarily mean it's going to fix everything? It may not. That's always the gamble with a move like that. But in the same sense, if you just find like this is on repeat, it's like a record with a scratch. It's skip, 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 skip. And if you just find like you're in that mode, you have to try something different. And an analogy I like to use too is like the steak in the fridge analogy, where it's like, man, I want a steak. You open the fridge. There's no steak. Ah, damn. You shut it. But 20 minutes later, you're like, I want a steak. And you go back to the fridge. Same situation.
Right.
It's like, that's almost the very definition of insanity. It's like, look, steak's not there, man. You got to do something different. And I'm kind of at the steak's not there point.
Yeah. About tired of looking at that refrigerator.
Dude, I am. And it's one of those things, like you said, it gets to a lot of self-sabotage where you're just kind of like blaming yourself for a lot of stuff. But at the same sense, it's like, you know, everybody has a role in how things are playing along in your life. And it doesn't necessarily mean you're doing anything wrong. It can be a lot of other instances and people and stuff that are going on that are affecting that. And the only way you can do that is just like dust yourself off and hit the fucking trail.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying I'm close to that, but I'm thinking about it, you know, and to our audience, it's like we always kind of point out, by the way, like and subscribe. Thank you. We always point out, you know, hit up our socials, DM us, whatever you want to do, and let us know. I would love to know what you guys do in situations where your life is going sideways for various reasons. Like, how do you do it? How do you fix it? Do you just up and change everything? Do you just pick each battle? I would love to know from the listeners what they do, and you know, because you know, having a few bad days turn into a few bad months, turning into a bad year, that sucks.
Right.
That sucks. And at what point do you just say, okay, I'm getting off the ride?
That's true. And you only get so many of those aforementioned years anyway, so
why continue to put yourself through it?
True.
You know, that's the whole point. You know, if you get people that you care deeply for, that you assume cared for you, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, maybe not as much. Why?
Yeah.
Why? You know, or you have a job you don't love. You know, I was criticized by some people because I up and quit an incredibly toxic situation, but for my mental health, I had to do it. And some people are like, oh, how could you do that without having another job? I'm like, well, it's not fucking magic. I can't just like wave a wand and be like, oh, there's a new job. There we go.
Right.
You know, it could take weeks, months, a year, more than that to find something. Especially here in America. It might be different around the world. But it's jobs don't fucking grow on trees here.
Yeah.
You know, but once again, I always tell people, if you have something and it is toxic and you're trying, whether it's the people or the company or whatever the case is, and you've given it a try, fuck them, get out. You said it. You only get so many years at this.
Right.
Why put yourself through it? There's no reason to.
It's true.
You know?
It's very true.
But at any rate, like I said, hit us up if you want to. DMs, smoke signals, whatever works for you. I know our friends in the Philippines, you know, I'd love to hear what you guys think, and the Ukraine and
shout out Canada
as well. So many places around the world. We appreciate each and every one of you guys for checking in and week out to the old podcast. And it's about the time where we take a break because we didn't really come up with a lot of answers there, but that's okay. It's kind of cathartic to talk about it.
Sometimes the best scientific conventions are the ones that ask more questions.
This is why I have this guy over here. Right here. All right, quick break. Carpe Diem coming up. Hey everybody, we are back here on the Mark Mo Show, and it is time for Carpe Diem. You beautiful people send us your DMs, and we read them on air. And if they are in the form of a question, we will answer them Jeopardy style, or maybe we won't. It depends.
Depends on you, lovely listener.
It really does.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
What are you asking? If you're asking for our social security numbers, that's our job to ask you.
Absolutely. If you're like, hey, can we store your mother? We can, for sure. Do we have a massive supply of sweat pills? We do.
Gas station sweat pills.
Gas station sweat pills. We can definitely help you out there. So really, it just, it kind of depends.
Deal.
If you're looking for feet pics, that's our OnlyFans. So, definitely check that out.
Onlyfeet.net.
Onlyfeet.net.com.org.
.edu.
.edu, yes. The education of feet. Yeah, definitely check us out. And I'm sure you'll like it if that's
up your alley. Which
up your
is everyone's.
It's why wouldn't you?
Yeah,
it's crazy. But anyway, DMs. I've got 4 here, Aiden.
Oh, and, wonderful.
The first one I have is Mr. Dunn dating. So his name's Mr. Dunn.
Oh, Mr.
Dunn dating.
Mr. Dunn is done dating.
Mr. Dunn is done dating. That's
so
what I'm getting out
done
of that.
and done.
Done and done.
It's a Parks and Rec reference.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
Well played. What's up, bros? The dating scene is whack, but I gotta know, if you're in a club and there are 2 girls flirting with you, one has a beautiful face but a very mid-body. And honestly, we could question this as being a guy or a girl, so let's just throw that out there as this. Sorry, Mr. Dunn, we're going to do it that way.
We're being fair.
We're going to be fair. So if the 2 people, one has a very attractive face but a very mid-body, and the other one has a very mid-face and an amazing body, who you hitting on?
Well, first of all, trick question. I don't hit on people.
There you go.
Yeah. So every relationship I've been in, I haven't made the first move. I just don't.
You just let the bevy of women come to you.
Exactly. Yes, I let it play out in front of me like a circus. No, that's very mean. I don't mean that. But yeah, no, I don't play my hand like that. I don't play my cards like that. So I wouldn't do anything necessarily.
No.
But to be completely fair, I would say if I did have that personality type, that more outgoing, extroverted personality type, probably the one with the beautiful face.
Yeah.
Because you spend more time looking at another person's face than you do their body. So
that's true. That is definitely true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might kind of be the same way, but for me, it's kind of a vibe. If they happen to be super attractive, great. If it, as one perceives it, everybody can perceive what attractiveness is. It's right,
subjective.
So it's the vibe. It's the vibe for me and how I'm feeling it. And I've talked about this before on my radio show and probably a little bit on the podcast. I trust my gut instincts all the time. Like, they're just never wrong. And I don't know if it's an ability that I've acquired because my father was a hypnotist and kind of psychic and into the dark arts and all that kind of stuff, which is kind of cool. But he kind of had that ability, and his mother had that ability. She used to read tea leaves for girls or for women in the neighborhood back in the day. So I don't know if this super gut instinct thing that I have is kind of part of that ability, but like, it's never wrong. It's just never wrong. And so, like, if I sit there and I'm not sure about a situation or if I'm not sure about a person, I better damn well listen, because it like I said, 99% of the time it works every time. No, it's dead on. It's dead on all the time. So yeah, it's got to be a vibe for me. Not necessarily a look or a body or whatever. Like I said, if I get a good feeling about someone and they fit the type that I like, great, super awesome.
It's a win-win.
But if not, then that's probably just a person that becomes a friend, and that's great. That's super. That's a win either way.
Right. Yeah, because that's
look at it.
I mean, that's the whole thing about relationships in general, right? Is you have to be, attracted to them romantically, but then you also have to be interested in them as an individual, right? If you lack one of those things, some shit's not going to pan out.
It's not going to pan out.
So, yeah, you got to have both.
I would agree. Definitely agree with that. Another guy, what do I do? Oh, no.
Blood is lost.
Okay. Guys, I'm in big trouble. I got really drunk last week and ended up having sex with my brother's girlfriend.
Oh, shit.
That isn't the worst part. I had sex with her again the next night while I was sober, and we both hooked up with my brother's ex. What do I do?
Oh, you're cooked. You're cooked.
Right?
I would fold, cash out of that table, change your name, move across the world. You're cooked.
That's bad news, dude.
Yeah, because now you're on your brother's shit list.
Yeah.
And
Big time, because you did the girlfriend and then an ex.
And then the ex, right. Yeah.
That brother's going to kill you.
Yeah, your family life is cooked.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would say fake your death. Change your name, move across the country.
No doubt. Yeah, change your name, a witness protection program.
Yeah.
Something like that. Change your name to Harvey Danger. I don't know. Just like, you got to change it up, though. You definitely have to change that up. Man, that is something. I don't know if I'd even have the energy to pull that off.
No. I don't know why you would. Like, why would you risk that?
Why would you do it? Why would you do it? Because, ultimately, things with the girlfriend probably aren't going to work out.
Right.
And you just destroyed your relationship with your brother.
Right.
Twice over, because then you did the ex. And when you're talking about family or best friends, like exes typically are kind of hands off.
Yeah. Unless you despised your brother, in which case...
That's different.
In which case you're probably fine. Nothing changes. You're just kind of an asshole yourself.
Right.
But, yeah, if you guys were tight, you're not now.
No.
You are not now.
That's it. Thanksgiving dinner will never be the same again.
Yeah, it's one of those Thanksgiving dinners where you're hoping they start talking about politics so that doesn't get brought up.
Right, and that is, boy, is that something.
Right.
Yeah, please start talking about Trump. Really? Well, you have no idea what's coming up next.
Yeah.
At Baseball Babe 23, time for ball, boys. Who are some of your favorite teams and players?
Well, I like the Cubs. I like the Red Sox. I like the Orioles. I like the Mariners.
Yeah.
I like the Marlins. It's probably my top teams right there.
Sure.
I can fuck with the Twins.
Sure. Yeah. Like Twins and Tigers, I'm kind of fine with.
Yeah. Tigers, true. I like me some Detroit teams.
Yeah.
Favorite players. I like Kyle Schwarber. Saw him get a couple home runs recently.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Which was fantastic. Just sucks he's not in Chicago anymore.
Yep.
But yeah, I always root for the Chicagoans, current or former.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I'm pretty much the same way. The Red Sox and the Cubs, they're 1 and 1A for me. And then a lot of the same teams that you mentioned, Orioles and Mariners and
I like the Padres too.
Padres, I do like the Padres.
Yeah.
I agree. I do like the Padres quite a bit. And when it comes to players, Shohei Ohtani is a stud.
He's a G.
It's always fun watching him. And then
Freddie Freeman. That dude is crazy.
Freddie Freeman.
He looks like the most basic white dude, and then he hits 12 home runs in a World Series. It's like, oh my God.
Yes, he does. That guy is something else. And I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of other good players. Juan Soto's a stud.
True.
But he plays for the Mets, so that works against him. But he's still great.
Oh, well, I mean, get that check, man.
Yeah,
get
for
that
sure.
paper.
Cubs went and got Kyle Tucker, so I know Tuck and Dansby Swanson and all those guys. They're really great, and
hopefully they click this year.
Hope they click. The Red Sox and Cubs both have an opportunity to make the postseason this year, so I suppose when the season is young and you can realistically say, hey, I think we've got a shot, then it makes the spring and summer fun.
Very true. I would agree.
It really does. But, so Baseball Babe, thank you for that question.
Great question.
Yeah, it's good. And then last and not least, Stoner Stanley 420.
Hey, my man.
Hey, Alan and Momo. Happy days, and the winter is almost over. Now it is not so cold in my van.
Oh.
I bought a rug from a homeless guy. He smells.
Oh, God. Well,
that begs the question, does the rug also...
I was just about to ask that. If he smells, his rug has probably got to be gross, too.
I'm sure it is.
I mean, good on the homeless guy for making that sale. Perhaps he's got a future in sales marketing.
Possibly.
Could be getting some paper for him. I would just say, first of all, thanks for checking in. Secondly, I agree. Big ups that winter is almost over.
Thank God. Yeah.
But, I would, before you interact with that rug any further, I would get it cleaned, and if you've touched it at all, I would get yourself tested for kind of anything.
Anything.
Yeah.
And one begs the question, if he lives in a van, what's he doing with a rug?
Yeah, is it like one of those vans where there's only the 2 front seats and the entire back is just open?
Yeah.
And maybe he's got like a sesh room back there for his Stoner Stanley tasks.
Yeah, possibly. That could be. Or we haven't seen Kevin a while.
Oh, if he gets wrapped up in the rug.
Wrapped up in the rug, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh, man, it's going to make the rug smell worse.
It's 100%.
No, think about the rug.
Think about the rug. Now we've changed it up completely. Now we're concerned about the rug. For sure. Well, Stanley, yeah, we're happy spring is here and that you got a rug. That's great. That's
Keep up the good work, man.
Keep up that good work.
You've earned
it. All right, that's it for me. What do you got, Aiden?
I got some DMs here as well. Our homeboy, Crippy Grew, checking in, asking, what are some apps that you absolutely love?
Oh, my.
Some apps. I have a love-hate relationship with social media, mostly on the hate side, because I don't use social media anymore. Right? The only thing I use it for is like posting AK219 updates.
Your show promos.
That's
80% of what I do. Yeah.
So I would say some of the apps I love recently is the Brave browser.
Oh.
Which, doesn't really sound like a lot. It's just a browser. But on most phones, you can't get browsers that have like ad blockers and everything like that. So you can't watch YouTube ad-free because, you can get ad blockers on PC and everything like that. You can't on your phone, but Brave browser has that.
Oh.
So it's the only thing I use to, like, watch YouTube without seeing 500 ads. So
go through Brave browser.
Yes.
Interesting.
Highly recommend. None of these are sponsored, but I do recommend that. That's been a fucking wonder to find. Another cool one, I think this one is US only, but it's the Merlin Bird ID app.
Okay.
It's from Cornell Labs, so it's made by a university, right?
Uh-huh.
Completely free, but you log in, you set your geographical location as like, I think I've got mine set as like the Great Lakes region, and like you were mentioning earlier, you like walking around the park, you can just have the app open, and it'll like track different birds that it hears, like whether they're singing, whether they're chirping, what type of bird it is, how far away it is.
Whoa.
Completely free app, no ads.
Wow, that's trippy.
Yeah. And I was like, this is fucking righteous.
Yep.
So that one was really cool. I like that a lot. You got any big apps you're a fan of?
Mine are probably going to be pretty standard.
The Untapped app I would recommend too.
Untapped, yep.
Yeah.
I second that. That's a fun one for sure. If you are a purveyor of the golden alcoholic suds known as beer, it's pretty fantastic. Well, since most of you, all of the listeners really know I'm a movie guy because I have a movie segment of the show. Fandango. It helps me review films, look at them. They've got Rotten Tomato scores on there, although I don't always pay attention to them, especially because they give you 2 ratings, the ratings for the fans and then the ratings for the reviewers. And when there's a huge disparity, that's when I kind of throw that out the window.
Oh, sure.
Because, like, for example, Marvel movies, you always get that. Like, the reviewers will have it down to, like, 50%, and the fans are, like, 88%.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, they're probably right. But you just never know. But that comes in more handy where you flip on there, and it's, like, a 44 and a 50. You're like, oh, okay, that movie's probably trash.
Yeah, probably whack.
Versus, like, where they're both in the 90s, you're like, which I did with a movie called Black Bag recently, and that was a fantastic movie.
That's wonderful.
So that was really good. Foreshadowing.
Yeah, I know, right?
But other than that, I'm on the socials. But once again, a lot of show promo stuff, a lot of, wish people happy birthday, just like stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's largely what I do. And then I have a very small group of people that I might interact with. Like if I go out and I'm having a good time at the bar, I'll throw it up there, if I'm at a specific location, because then I figure, like if I say I'm in Crown Point, Indiana, or if I'm in Valpo, or if I'm in Michigan City, or if I'm somewhere, I'm going to post it in the case that maybe somebody I know is like, oh my God, I'm in Michigan City. And then they know. And I know Snapchat's good for that because they have the map.
Yeah.
But I like doing it just to be like, hey, I'm here. Because I always welcome anybody I know, just like, hey, come and hang out. It's just always an open invitation. I would probably say, well, YouTube for sure.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
For sure. That's kind of my main source of entertainment these days. Reddit.
Reddit is a gold mine.
I like going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. There is this one app called Layout, and if you have a lot of photos and you're doing some sort of collage,
sure,
from say a vacation, or you had a great night out with friends or something like that, it's a very useful tool to, instead of just like photo and just like throwing them all up on Facebook, you can just do it in one image and just have them laid out in an artistic way and just throw up the one image, which I kind of like doing. It's what I do for this show when I do my promos. So it's neat.
That's pretty handy.
It's free.
Yeah.
So that's like free.
Free's for me.
Free is for me as well. And the Casto, it's Castto screen mirror. So that's on your phone. So if I'm on my phone and there's some content I'm watching on my phone, I can project it onto my TV.
Oh, that's pretty clutch.
I can project it on my TV. So that's kind of...
That's nice.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, so I kind of like that one. And I think that's probably...
There's a cool one I like as well. It's called Night Sky.
Ooh.
So it just takes your GPS location, and then it uses your phone's like gyroscope, like how it is angled.
Yep.
And where you are on Earth and what time of evening it is.
Okay.
You can look up at the night sky, and of course we get some kind of harsh light pollution in Northwest Indiana from Chicago and the steel mills and everything like that. But you can see some stars, and you can point it up at the star. It'll tell you what it is, how far away it is, whether or not it's a planet, like what what constellation it's in. You can point it down at your feet, and it'll show you through the Earth what people on the other side of the night are seeing in their night sky.
Oh, no way.
So that's kind of cool. And I think the last one that I like using is an app called PlantNet, where you can take a picture of a plant. It'll tell you like what kind of plant it is, what it's good for, like medicinal or aesthetics, whether or not it's like more of a weedy invasive plant or if it's like healthy and good for pollinators. So I like that a lot too.
That's helpful because, as you say, you get a garden, and especially earlier in the spring and things all start sprouting up, and you sit there and you're like, okay, should I keep this or not? Because no one likes a yard full of weeds.
Right.
But in the same sense, if there's a specific kind, like, what's it, goldenrod or whatever that was growing in my garden.
Yeah.
And I had noticed in the fall it got these they were very small flowers, and they just kind of these plumes, but kind of this golden color. And I found out like the big flying pandas, also known as bumblebees, tend to like them. They're always around them. And I thought, well, shit, I almost pulled those. If they like them, why am I going to pull it?
Right.
And I read, that's a big pollinator plant.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that. So that was kind of
it is very
cool thing to figure out.
Yeah. So I like those a lot. Good question there, Crip. We got a question here from Gumbo Wumbo, another one of the Gumbo clan. Cats or dogs? One of the age-old questions. Cats or dogs?
Now I'm going to preface my answer by saying I don't dislike cats.
Sure.
I don't. But I'm a dog guy all the way. I grew up in a dog household. We had numerous dogs. when your mother and I got together, dog household, had a lot of dogs. We had one cat, and the dogs plotted against that thing every day. Like it was a military operation, and they're just like, we're going to get this cat, and the cat's like, ah! It was like, and to be fair, the cat was kind of cool. Like, if there were no dogs around, the cat was pretty cool. His name was Bimo.
Bimo, my man.
And so, to be fair to him, it wasn't really Bimo's fault, but the dogs just did not have the patience or time for that damn cat. But always been a dog family. But as I said, I don't hate cats. But I tend to find them, and not all of them, because it's broad. It's a broad statement. But I do tend to find some cats are kind of like, hey, F you. And it's like, okay. And you're cleaning their litter box, and you're getting their food together. And they're up on your table, and they're eating your food. And you're, well, what the hell's right now? Chances are you tell a dog no once, that dog's like, okay, that's a no-go, so I am not going to do that again. Whereas cats, you can't control them. You can't you cannot be like, cat, put him down on the ground. Don't do that. That cat's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
That cat's going to be up there doing it again, or up on a counter, or whatever the case is. They wreak havoc. And so that's just kind of I guess, why I might prefer one over the other.
Sure.
And then some are just assholes.
That is true.
Yeah. Can a dog be an asshole? Not so much. I think dogs can be more violent.
Right. And they typically take after their owners and how they were trained. So they can be trained to be assholes. They can be mistrained to be violent.
Yeah. Most dogs just want to sit by you and get pet and fetch a ball in the yard and just eat massive amounts of food and then take massive amounts of craps.
Yeah.
That's the dog. That's what the dog does.
Very simple beings.
Yeah. So I'd give the edge to dogs.
Sure. I used to be like that 100% of the way because, like you said, we grew up with dogs in the family house forever, sometimes having up to 3 dogs in the house at a time, which was chaotic, but it was fun.
It was fun. And it's good for each other because when you're out of the house, the dogs kind of have each other.
They have companionship, right. But over the last 5 years, I've spent my life, of course, with my girlfriend, and she's always had cats. So we went from 2 cats to now we have 3 cats. And I don't know. I think I just maybe like cats more simply in the fact that they just do their own thing. They don't need my attention to let them outside. They don't need my guidance in training. They don't need, my attention to play. They just do their own shit, and then when they tire themselves out, they come and, lay down and cuddle in between my legs for a while and, roll up in a blanket next to me, something like that. And I think that's just better suited for me recently.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm stuck in this opinion. I'm just saying this is how I feel recently.
Yeah.
That I would lean towards cats just because life is so busy, working a full-time job, running 2 podcasts, 4 YouTube channels. On top of that, trying to maintain friendships and hanging out with family.
Yeah.
I think cats are just better suited for me right now because they just do their own shit.
Yep.
And then when they want pets, they'll come around for a half an hour and then fuck right back off to the windowsill or something.
That's what they do. That's true.
Yeah, I think I would lean cats as of recently.
All right.
Yeah. Final question I received. Banana Bread asks, finally, a question from food itself.
Yes.
What do you secretly judge people for? Oh. It's kind of a heavy question, unless banana bread is secretly judging us for eating it.
Could be.
The first thing that comes to mind for me, something I secretly judge people for, is gossiping.
Yeah.
If you gossip to me about somebody, I will assume any information I divulge to you, you will gossip behind my back as well.
Yep.
Now, I'm not going to call you out for gossiping.
Nope.
Because you might gossip to someone else that I called you out for gossiping. I will keep that shit to myself and internalize the fact that I do not trust you.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
I would say gossiping is a big one. Secretly judge people for. I outwardly judge people for being fascists.
Oh, for sure.
That one's not secret judgment. I'll just say that out loud.
Yep, I agree.
But yeah, I think gossiping is a big one for me because it's just immature.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I really don't like that.
Yeah, it's incredibly immature. I judge people largely by the company that they keep. And,
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You know, because you might have a friend or an acquaintance, whatever the case is, and you see the 2 or 3 or 4 people they hang out with the most, and you're like, man, I don't like them. Well, do the math then.
Right.
You know, if you don't like A, B, and C, but you kind of talk to D, maybe D is kind of someone you should probably not associate with.
Right.
So I really do judge people by the company that they keep.
That's fair to do, I'd say.
Yeah, and I judge people by their decisions. I'm not saying everybody's perfect. We're not, and we say dumb things and we do dumb things and we make bad decisions. That's part of being human.
Sure.
But when people make decisions, like time and time again, you're just like,
Not learning from their mistakes.
I judge them based on that. I really
Sure.
do, and it stems from our earlier conversation about people just being grown up and taking responsibility and doing stuff like that. And some people don't. And
Yeah.
some people just make bad decisions, and you can't control that. But
That's true.
I will judge you based on
Yes.
those decisions or non-decisions, I suppose.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
And that is the last DM I received.
Awesome. Well, hey, guys, DMs were great today. Good job. Keep them coming. We have socials, Facebook, Instagram,
Hit us up, man.
Twitter, OnlyFeed, all that stuff. So make sure you hit us up. Drop us a DM. If you want to throw some crazy stuff out there, crazy story, we will welcome it. If you just want to ask a question, we had good questions today. Throw a question out there.
We will answer it within reason.
Within reason.
If you send us your social security card in the mail.
Yes, you have to do that.
We'll send you back a photocopy for your sake.
Credit card numbers, the 3 digits on the back.
Yeah. Expiration
date.
Yep. Full name on card.
You have to have that.
Yeah.
The deed to your house.
If you've got one.
If you've got one.
Yeah.
If not, we'll take your dog or cat, depending on, I'll take the dog, he'll take the cat.
Yeah. Ship us your car.
Ship us your car. We'll take the car.
If you pay for the shipping, we will take that car completely off your hands, no problem.
Yep, and we'll take very good care of said automobile.
Absolutely.
You're welcome.
Because you earned that.
You have earned that.
By being a great listener.
No doubt. Well, we are going to do one more thing before we take our next break. And that's a little thing that Aiden came up with a while back. So we had a lot of foodie conversation. We are foodies here for sure. And Aiden does the other foods. You might ask, wow, cool, what's that? Well, the other foods are, foods that might make a billy goat puke. Foods that aren't your typical food by chance.
Sure.
For example, we used to go to this thing called Springfest. It's down in West Lafayette, Indiana.
Good old Westlaw.
Where Purdue is located. And they used to have this spring day or whatever the hell they called it. And they had all these little educational things all over campus. Designed for kids of all ages.
Sure.
From your middle schoolers even up to high school. It's just really a great opportunity for kids to learn stuff and have fun doing it.
Very fun, yeah.
Well, we did this one thing and they had fried crickets.
Fried crickets, they had mealworm smoothie. They had a handful of alternative protein type foods.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would not try any of that. You would have to have a flamethrower aimed at my penis to have me eat any of these types of items.
That's gonna really be a bad time.
Gonna really is. Hey-o!
Got him.
Ba-dum-bum. This guy, I believe, tried some. His mother, I know, tried some.
I had the mealworm smoothie. It was a strawberry smoothie, and it just tasted like strawberry smoothie.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Couldn't taste mealworms.
Couldn't taste mealworms.
Why Adam?
Protein? I don't know.
Well, there you go. That might be it.
Yeah.
That might be it. Otherwise, it's like...
I have tried... They make these cricket tortilla chips, these cricket Doritos.
Oh, my.
So they're Doritos with cricket protein added to them.
Okay.
And they just taste like Doritos. But they're like high-protein Doritos because they have cricket protein in them. The biggest hurdle to get over is the fact you're eating crickets. The easy hurdle is the fact that they taste fantastic.
They taste like a Dorito.
Yeah. So it's really a give and take if you can mentally push yourself to be like, it doesn't matter, there's crickets in here if it's tasty.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Point taken. That
being said,
we're just going to move right past the bugs and watch him talk about bugs now.
Right.
What do you got for us today?
I did some research. I always do my research ahead of time. And I wanted to do something kind of outside of the Nordic countries. Because I focus a lot on, like, bad American food, bad, nasty Nordic food.
Sure.
Or Scandinavian food. Nasty Japanese or Chinese food. But I found this one out of Greenland.
Oh.
Which...
Okay.
I mean, I've not...
Is that the one we're trying to make the 51st state or 52nd state?
53rd, I don't know.
By the way, Greenland, we love you if
Yeah.
you're listening to this show. We don't want your country.
Yes.
The orange asshole wants your country. We don't.
No. Keep your country.
Yeah,
Just
keep it.
Defend it. Don't let the U.S. fascists take your shit,
Good
dog.
Lord. Unbelievable.
Shout-outs to Canada, too.
Yes.
Canada, Greenland, Mexico. I swear to God, we actually care for you.
Most of us do.
But this comes out of Greenland.
Okay.
A little something called kiviak.
Oh.
I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
What's your spelling on that?
Kiviak.
Oh, okay.
Kiviak, I imagine.
Okay.
And this article comes from the disgustingfoodmuseum.com.
Oh, no.
I found this website. I found this article. It had many of the things we've covered, like it had surstrumming and balut eggs.
Yeah.
And what was the one thing we covered? It was the one Indian health drink that's just like cow's piss.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that one.
They had a couple of those, and then I saw this. I'm like, oh, this isn't familiar. So this is kiviak. And this is their article from disgustingfoodmuseum.com. A freshly disemboweled seal is stuffed with up to 500 small Arctic birds called little auk. It is then sewn shut and sealed with seal fat to prevent flies from getting in. The birds are buried and left to ferment in the seal carcass for 3 to 18 months.
Whoa.
Let me know if you need a recap so far. This is only the first part.
This is only the first part?
Yeah.
Holy hell.
So, to recap, disemboweled seal, 500
Yep.
birds stuffed inside, it's sealed and then put in the ground for 18 months.
God, I'm hungry already.
Kiviak is eaten by biting off the bird's head first and then sucking out the juices inside.
Oh, no.
The birds can be eaten whole, bones and all. It is especially popular during the Arctic winter celebrations. The taste of kiviak has been described as similar to gorgonzola cheese. This unusual preservation method has helped Greenlanders survive harsh winters and food shortages.
Yeah, ooh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, you go to great lengths to survive harsh winters if necessary, but this is just fucking nuts, in my opinion.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Good God.
It continues. Only auks, the birds, 500 of which go in the seal,
Yeah.
only auks can be used for kiviak, as other birds do not ferment as well, as evidenced by the use of eider birds in 2013. The eiders didn't ferment as well as the auks, giving an elderly man botulism, later killing him. At the time, it was not known that the eiders were the cause of his death, so that same kiviak was served at his funeral.
No.
It was eaten by many of the grieving visitors who also became sick. This is where it gets disturbing. The dead man's daughter, present at the funeral, also died from the kiviak she ate.
Oh, no.
That killed her father. Many others got that same botulism. That's just... Guys, can we not eat dangerous food?
Let's not
Maybe?
do it. Let's say no.
Maybe? I mean, I know dying from starvation is scary, but dying from botulism is scary as shit,
Yeah,
too.
no to kiviak and yes to life.
Right. Little auks are migratory within the Arctic region, moving between Canada, Svalbard, Greenland, a bunch of different places up there. For a few weeks in the spring, millions of these tiny birds are found in the cliffs of southwestern Greenland, and the locals catch and eat as many as they can, and preserve the birds during consumption for the rest of the year, sometimes with the kiviak method.
Oh, no. Good Lord.
Yeah, so that's kiviak for you. I mean, shout out Greenland, but please, if I ever visit, don't serve me that.
Don't, please, yeah.
I'll just take whatever regular people food you have.
Oh my lord.
So,
dude,
God bless you, Greenland.
Woo, buddy. Man, that's rough.
The thing that still gets me today, it still kind of makes me giggle ever since I first found that article, is the fact that they need to disembowel a seal first.
Right.
Just to put 500 little birds inside of it.
Just to do that.
500 little birds.
Can't you just eat the little bird?
They just fucking, or the seal.
Or the seal.
They just fucking bury the seal for 3 years.
Oh,
no, not like a year and a half, actually.
Year and a half, yeah.
But still.
Good God.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean,
just eat the seal, throw it on a fire, or the birds, pluck them,
I mean, your entire land is cold, right?
Sure.
Cold, ice-freezing temperatures. Why do you need a seal to preserve the birds?
Oh no.
Over winter, when the winter would prevent the birds from going bad.
True. Because
you live in an icebox, right?
Yeah, because Iceland is actually green,
and
Greenland is actually full of ice.
Full of ice, right?
Got it. Okay, just checking on that. Check. We get it. Well, that was interesting. So I guess what we would say at this particular point is, we're going to take a break. So go get your kiviak.
Let us know if it tastes like Gorgonzola cheese.
If you survive.
Yeah, get back to us.
And if you do, yay. And you'll be back for You Just Made the List.
If you don't.
Coming up.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, no. All right, we are back, everybody. If you have survived your kiviak, congratulations.
Good on you.
To those that didn't, well, you can't hear me. It doesn't matter. Anyway, we are now on to our feature segment, You Just Made the List. That is our top 10 list of, well, God, just about everything and anything. We've been doing these lists on and off on radio and podcast for the better part of probably 3 or 4 years now, and so we have quite the catalog, as it were. And this week, we are going to do something related to a certain international game that has started back up, which is Major League Baseball. And this You Just Made the List, top 10 best baseball parks in Major League Baseball. So we had to classify that specifically to MLB, because I'm sure internationally there's probably some...
I'm sure the Japanese baseball
oh my God, I'm
parks
sure
are
they're
beautiful.
awesome. I'm sure they're awesome. So these are just specifically Major League Baseball. And I don't know if you wanted to go first or I can go first.
Sure.
Either way.
Well, first we have to break down the rules.
Oh, of course.
It's a top 10
that was
list.
important. Top 10 list.
Top 10 list. The rules list is long. We got one. I don't remember what it was.
I think it's the only...
The only rule is that there's...
no rules.
There's no rules.
There's no rules. We do a top 10 list, 10 to 2, and our big number one reveal at the end.
Fantastic. I guess I'll run 10 to 2.
Run 10 to 2.
Let's do it. Number 10 on my list is Oriole Park. The Orioles, of course, play there. Makes sense.
Would make sense.
Beautiful. Beautiful Baltimore.
It is beautiful. I like the big old warehouse in the background. It's pretty cool.
It's very atmospheric.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I love it.
It's like, oh, this is Baltimore, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Number 9, Citizens Bank Park, the Phillies.
Phillies, yeah. I mean,
it's a nice...
We typically don't root for said city's teams.
Sure. I was during the Super Bowl.
Which is so weird.
Which is crazy to say, but...
The NFL made us cheer for Philadelphia, which is odd. Actually, I cheered more for Kendrick Lamar. But I mean,
that's true, yeah.
That being said, we were cheering for that other team.
Yeah. Oh, well. They got the
dub,
right. which works.
They got the dub. Yeah. We were happy. I'm sure they were happy. And they got the number 9 ballpark.
Very true. They do have the number 9. Number 8, Target Field, Minnesota Twins.
Minnesota.
Yeah. Beautiful. Minnesota's beautiful anyway.
Yeah.
And they've got a beautiful field. Number 7, Dodger Stadium. L.A. Dodgers play there.
Classic outfield.
Very classic.
With the old scoreboard and then that weird-looking roof
line
that's out there.
Yep.
Which is pretty neat. And it's something where they try to keep it modern but still keep the integrity of the old ballpark.
Yes.
So I always appreciate that.
Yeah, I completely agree. Number 6, PNC Park. Pittsburgh Pirates.
Got to make that road trip.
Oh,
Heard
yeah.
nothing but good things about that place.
Yes, and the Pittsburgh Pirates, small market team, cheap, whack-ass owner, but yet they're still beloved.
They are.
And they've got a nice field, so
They do.
good on you. Number 5, Petco Park, the old Padres.
The old Padres, and that also very similar to Baltimore in kind of a city background. So you see all the buildings and stuff like that, pretty much right on top of the ballpark. So it's kind of an interesting design, interesting views.
Yeah, very neat.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, I got Oracle Park, the old Giants.
Nothing is cooler than watching a ball get launched out into right field, into the bay.
And
right. People are out there with their kayaks paddling their ass off like, I'm getting this ball, man. It's such a Northern California vibe. Such a vibe.
Very, very cool. Number 3 on my list, T-Mobile Park, the Mariners.
Yep.
Seattle, beautiful
right next
city.
to the football stadium.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful city, beautiful people. Good for them. Number 2 on my list, Fenway Park, the old Red Sox. Big fucking wall out there.
The green monster. Gotta love the green monster.
Yes. Very beautiful.
And that was number 2, correct?
That was my number 2.
All right. I'll run through mine as well. I have a tie at number 10 because, well, I can.
There's no rules, hey?
Number 10 is Oracle Park with the Giants and Comerica Park where the Tigers play.
Oh, Detroit. Nice.
And the coolest part is, like, you're at street level, right? You walk up to the ballpark, you're at street level, and you actually walk down into the park. The field is below street level.
Oh.
So you actually walk down. So the main stadium is down below the street, and the upper deck is actually, like, right there.
Like at street level. That's
kind of
cool.
neat. It's kind of neat the way they set it up, right next to Ford Field. Downtown Detroit, which they've been putting a lot of money into, and it's kind of a revitalization.
Yeah, sure.
I think Greek Town Casino and Hockey Town and all sorts of stuff. So it's kind of a neat area. Number 9, Citizens Bank, the Phillies. Nice ballpark, new ballpark. They did that well. Number 8, Coors Field for the Rockies.
That's a nice pick.
Right there in Denver. You got the light air, but it's a kind of a nice design, good place to see a ball game. Number 7, Petco Park with the Padres.
Nice.
That one. Oriole Park at Camden Yards. That's one my friends went to. I was unable to go at the time. Kind of regret that. They said they had an amazing time and that all the little bars and restaurants around there, like a lot of old Oriole players just go and hang out.
Yeah.
Like it's not like a planned autograph sesh or anything. They just go and hang out. And it's like, oh my God, is that Boog Powell? Yes, it is. Hey man, how are you? Good. Can I buy a beer? Yes. Can I have your autograph? Sure. It's just like, that's awesome. I love that.
My man.
Yeah, no doubt. Number 5, Kauffman Stadium, the Royals. What a cool looking stadium. Just these massive grandstand behind home plate that just goes up and up.
Right.
It's just, the design is so freaking cool. And that's right next to Arrowhead. So they put both stadiums right next to each other. The parking lot is massive, so you have a fantastic tailgate situation there as well. So just good stuff all around. Number 4, Dodger Stadium. Number 3, PNC Park with the Pirates. That is definitely one I want to check out for sure.
Right.
And number 2, Wrigley Field in Chicago.
Nice.
You got the Ivy. You got the old scoreboard. It's an old park. The food's not fantastic, but they've managed to kind of keep the old historic parts of the park, like the big red marquee out in front, and still kind of have gone through the modernization phase in various phases. So definitely appreciate that, but definitely number 2 for me.
Yes. Well, that's very good. Well, your number 2 is my number 1. I put Wrigley Field at the very top there. I just think it's so classic. And like you were saying, they, revitalize and modernize everything while not destroying the history of the park, which I think is super important for especially
with baseball.
A baseball stadium so rich in history.
Yep.
So, yeah, I put Wrigley at number 1.
Yeah, it has to be a number. And the one thing I failed to mention when I talked about it, too, is that it's uniquely a neighborhood ballpark. Like a lot of ballparks are either far out into the suburbs off of a highway, or they're, like, in the city.
Like right downtown.
And this is a neighborhood ballpark.
Yeah.
And it's so cool where it's located. I used to live, like, 3 blocks away from Wrigley when I was a younger pup, and many good times
Yes,
were had.
absolutely.
For sure. My number one's Fenway.
Good.
Very
good.
I was in awe when I went there on a business trip, and I just like, not that I squirt the man tear out of the one eye, but I may have, and I just looked at it and I was like, man, this is like, you got the feels.
Oh, sure.
So they had a tour, but the tour was already going. I'm like, hey, you got any more tours today? He's like, no. I'm like, God damn it. And he's like, well, if you want, you go around the back side in the outfield. There's this bar and grill that is actually part of the stadium. Like, it's not, you can't get, I don't think you can get into the stadium from that bar and grill, but the bar and grill is built into it.
Oh.
And so you can go in, and it's very kind of a cool, dark, swank little, almost dive bar-y-ish, but it kind of had like a little restaurant part too. And you could go in, and there was this big area where there's a huge screen. Well, the screen looks directly out.
Oh, that's
into
cool.
the ballpark. And so that was amazing. So I was like, oh my God, I got to get there. He's like, oh, you have to wait to get a seat over there. I'm like, I will wait the day.
Yeah.
I will wait to sit over there. And I'm like, what do you have that's good? He's like, well, yeah, everything is good. I was just saying, I can't do a great Bostonian accent, but everything is good. This is like, all right, what do people get here the most? Wings. You could have just said that. Okay,
right.
Let's do the wings. So I got wings, I had a couple of beers, and just looked out in a Fenway, and it was amazing.
That sounds like an experience.
It's like looking out onto a cathedral.
Yeah.
It just looked absolutely fantastic. So bucket list to actually see a real game there. So hopefully that will take place. That and PNC Park are like 1 and 2 for me,
Right.
to be able to
That'd be
see
really
games
cool.
there. No doubt. But that's it.
Yeah, it's good lists.
That was good lists. Definitely good lists. We shared most, but had a few different ones in there.
Yeah.
Which I think was kind of neat. And anyway, as we always say, DMS, send us your, if you're like, hey, you guys missed that, or this is a great park, this and that, feel free. If you want to convince us that the White Sox park is in the top 10, we may laugh at you a lot.
Yeah, because it's not about top 10 parks that have a campfire shake. It's about top 10 parks.
Exactly.
If you want to say top 10 food served at parks, sure.
They probably would be in there somewhere.
I'll give it to you.
That would be in there. I mean, let's face it.
I think Phillies Park would be near the top because they serve cheesesteaks in the park.
In the park. They do. And if you're a seafood fan in Oriole Park, Camden Yards, there's this section out in the outfield where they boil big pots of crab. And you can just go sit on these big park benches and just crack open crab.
Just have crab boil, yeah.
Big crab boil out in the outfield. So, so that might have to be a future one. But definitely the food for Golden Rate Field, Comiskey, whatever the hell it is. The
old Kaminsky Park.
The old Kaminsky Park over there at 35th and Shields, my friend. That...
Walk out of the stadium and get shot.
Yay, great... Oh. Well, he took the L.
Not harder than the Sox did.
Yeah. Whoa! Oh. Hey! Oh! Hey! Now they won their first game, so that's, you can dream.
1 out of 160 some odd, yeah.
162.
Granted, I'll give them. I'll give them that. They probably have 15 to 20 more wins this year.
Yeah.
So good on you, Southside.
Good on you. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Stop watching now. You have good memories.
Exactly. Just tune out. Find some Netflix to binge.
You'll be sitting there in August, be like, oh, God, that 8-1 opener. People be like, what? He's like, oh, that's when I stopped watching, man. Yeah. They're undefeated, 8-1. They're going all the way. But at any rate, maybe we'll talk food. Oh, by the way, this Rico Bene's is this restaurant down by Kaminsky Rate Cellular.
They've got the big down arrow, so you know that they're not going anywhere up.
That's just like bad imaging right there. It's a bad image. It's like you pull up and there's a big red arrow pointing down. It's like, yep.
Yeah. Like, what other companies out there could you have been sponsored by, right? Is Ferraro still a company out there?
I think so.
Get sponsored by Ferraro. Have a big Nutella
Toronto
park.
Bakery.
Yeah.
We're about the bread.
We get the fresh
Our bread's always rising.
Exactly. The bread's always rising, just like this win streak. And then you serve Italian beefs in the park on the Toronto bread.
So do we have to do everything for these guys?
Jesus Christ. The amount of free advice.
Really.
Unbelievable.
Top notch when you think about it.
S tier.
S tier.
Yeah.
Definitely S tier. Speaking of S tier, we're on to review preview.
Whoa!
How about this
Segue, Paul Blart style.
Most definitely. Review preview. I review a movie and preview a movie. And so here, this is a review of a movie that I mentioned a little bit earlier in the show called Black Bag. And it's not about luggage. It's actually a spy thriller. So the main character
walks into the airport. He forgot the luggage.
Dun,
Bum, bum,
dun, dun. Then you get that picture of that squirrel. Oh man, I'd see that movie. So Black Bag, the main character's wife Catherine is suspected of having betrayed the nation. Intelligence agent George Woodhouse faces the ultimate test: loyalty to his marriage or his country. The movie stars Michael Fassbender, Cate Blanchett, Marissa Bella, Pierce Brosnan, Naomi Harris, Regé-Jean Page. There isn't a ton of action like a James Bond or a Jason Bourne movie. It's all mystery and intrigue. It's a bit touch and go there for George for a while. Things don't look particularly good for his wife, but it's all part of this setup, which is pretty brilliant. Yet this George dude is smart enough to kind of flush it out. And how they do the reveal of who the actual mole is brilliant. And so it was really great. Now, I'm going to say this, because I'm sure there are movie theaters all across the country, probably all over the world, that have those reclining seats.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're comfy, and people bring in their plushies and their blankets.
Right.
And, look, I will fall asleep.
Yeah, that's the trouble.
I nodded off twice during this movie, and it was filled with intrigue and excitement.
No.
Not off twice. So one time was like 5 seconds, and I did the head bob, and I was like, whoop, 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 here we are. Okay, I know what's going on. The second time I did it,
oh no,
solid 5 minutes. Solid 5 minutes, I was out. And
Damn.
I woke up, and I'm like, where are we? What's going on? And I was like, God damn it. Because there are movies, like some comedy, an action movie, you doze off for a little bit, no harm, no foul.
Right.
You figure it out. But like a movie like this,
yeah,
5 minutes is a lifetime.
Yeah.
And then you're like, God damn it, what is going on?
You missed something important.
Yep. And I didn't kind of circle back to what I missed until the very end. Then I'm like, oh okay.
You missed a key piece.
I did. I really did.
They need to start serving like Red Bull vodkas in movie theaters. Like, keep your folks awake, man.
Have to. I feel like I have to take B12 pills in there with me or something. I just got to stay awake because it's just dark and comfy. And if it's already later in the evening, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm
cooked.
Other than that, like I said, it was brilliant. It was fun. I give it a 7.7 out of 10. Very entertaining. I recommend you see it.
Absolutely.
For sure.
That sounds righteous.
No doubt. Now, my preview is a movie. Now, there's an actor, and I like him. I like him a lot. Actually, he was, I think... Oh, God, what TV show is he in? Mr. Robot? Does that sound...
Oh, yeah.
Does that sound right?
We watched that first season of Mr. Robot, and I think we loved it.
And then for whatever reason...
They killed it.
They killed it.
Yeah.
They definitely did, and that was kind of weird because
it's one of network television's downfalls, which we kind of knew was coming with the advent of all the streaming services, but...
Yep.
I mean, every single time with those kind of slow burn intro...
Yep.
kind of network TV shows, it's like the story's going to develop. You can't kill something before it gets going, right?
Right. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And so this particular movie is called The Amateur. Now, I really like the idea of this movie. So he is a CIA decoder, right? He's a nerd. Sits behind a computer, does his stuff, gives the information to people who are out in the shit, right?
Yeah.
Like the dudes, like men and women facing potential death, trying to keep all of us safe. But his world comes crashing down when there's a terrorist attack, things go sideways, and his wife's in the line of fire and she dies. So when his supervisors there in the CIA refuse to take action, like, hey, I want the guys that did this, blah, 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 his intelligence becomes the ultimate weapon. He embarks on this trek across the globe to track down all those responsible for his wife's death. And he's not trained to do this, but he gets trained to do this.
Oh, I see.
And his high IQ, along with these new skills, dude becomes a beast.
Yeah.
So the movie stars Rami Malek, Rachel Brosnan, John Barenthal. So that right there, I mean, that's the Punisher, man. So that's
Right.
got to be awesome. And Lawrence Fishburne. Great cast. Looks to be highly entertaining. Film hits theaters April 11th.
Beautiful.
So definitely check that one out, The Amateur. Looks like it's going to be good.
Absolutely.
All right. Now, I wasn't sleeping on these. Most people weren't.
Smart.
But sometimes people sleep
It's either the honk shoe
on
or the
certain shows.
or the honk me,
Could be.
depending how you snore. People be sleeping.
They be sleeping. They be sleeping on this. And it could be shows, movies, games. Could be anything. But Aiden knows. So while we were sleeping, this week, Aiden, what did we miss?
You missed this movie that I recently watched and I loved, and I found out it came out in 2019.
Okay.
So you're talking over 6 years ago. And I didn't hear about I was sleeping on it.
You slept on
I
it.
slept on, but I awoken.
Oh.
I become woke, and now I share the woke with you all.
Thank you for doing that.
A movie titled The Dead Don't Die.
Oh, that's hilarious already.
Yes. So this came out in 2019.
Is Bill Murray in that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I remember now.
Have you seen it, or you just
I
saw a
remember.
trailer?
Nope, I saw the trailer.
Oh, it is fucking awesome. So here's the overview. In the sleepy small town of Centerville, something is not quite right. The moon hangs large and low in the sky. The hours of daylight are becoming unpredictable. Animals are beginning to exhibit unusual behaviors. News reports are scary. The scientists are concerned. But no one foresees the strangest and most dangerous repercussion that will start plaguing Centerville. The dead rise from their graves and feast on the living. The citizens must battle to survive.
Oh, no.
Now, this movie got panned. IMDb gave it a 5.4, Rotten Tomatoes 54, Prime Video 5.4, but the audience reviews 89%. So it's exactly what you were mentioning earlier in the show. You can tell, okay, it's just going to be good. And it was fucking awesome. It was cheesy, it was campy, it was self-aware,
Yep.
the fourth wall breaks, the calls to like producers and writers.
That's good.
Awesome. It's funny, it's charming, and the cast is nuts.
Yeah, I pulled that up real quick.
Bill Murray,
Yep.
Adam Driver, Tilda Swinton, Danny Glover, Sarah Driver, Selena Gomez, Steve Buscemi, Tom Waltz, Iggy Pop, RZA. You got huge names in there.
That is.
Huge names in there, and it just, people slept on it.
Oh, they sure did.
It didn't deserve that.
Did not.
Didn't deserve that one bit. So, The Dead Don't Die, I highly recommend.
The Dead Don't Die. That's amazing.
It's just funny and charming, and if you've got an hour and a half free this evening, watch it.
That is a good call, Aiden. That's definitely a good call. So while we were sleeping, we missed that gem. Cult classic, I think.
Future cult classic.
We could put it in there.
Absolutely.
For sure.
It's right up there with Renfield in my eyes as far as cult
yeah,
classics.
okay. I'll give you that
It's
one
like
for
modern day cult classics.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, Nicolas Cage is in it. That's all you
Nicolas Cage is a fucking G. I love that
He's
man.
great.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
amazing. Anyway, that is what occurred when we slept. Now we know. We'll be right back with the world of weird news, and we're going to drink some beer. So crack one open with us. All right, we are back, everybody. We're in the home stretch, and today we have a beer review, and
The official beer review.
trademark.
Trademark.
I have to say, and people that know me know I'm a PBR guy.
Big PBR man.
I have a handful of bars where I'm either a regular or a semi-regular, and I walk in and they put a PBR on the counter. Like, I don't have to say a word.
Beautiful.
And I love that. for me.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that.
It's a sign of respect.
It's a sign of respect. And so, that being the case, Aiden, all his wisdom, thought, hey, I have an idea for this week's review, and lo and behold, it's PBR. But it's not just any PBR, is it?
It's PBR Extra. So it's the PBR in a black can, and it looks pretty slick, let me tell you.
It's cool
I
looking.
like the packaging. So PBR, of course, established in the mid-1800s.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Pepperidge Farm remembers in Milwaukee, but I believe the brewery is out of Texas these days. So PBR
Yes.
Extra is just an American lager with a higher ABV. So I believe that means they just add more malt and grains to it, ferment it for longer, higher ABV.
That would make sense.
So being the PBR man yourself,
Yes, sir.
you are going to have to give most of the reaction, because I believe we tried a lager on a recent show,
We did.
the Play Hard Purdue Boilermakers lager.
Yeah, that was good.
That was super smooth. So we're doing another lager, but this one's got the history of you being Mr. Peeber.
I am, in fact, Mr. Peeber. There's no doubt. There's no doubt about that. And so we are going to, let's see, the smell test.
On the nose?
It's
Anything different?
Nope, smells like PBR.
Smells like Peeber.
For sure. As a matter of fact, here's something fun before I take the sip. So I'm at a bar that I used to frequent, and so somebody had said, oh, this and this, they all taste the same, and I think they put, it was either 2 or 3 beers in front of me, I can't remember which, but I think it was like PBR and Coors Banquet and something else, and they're like, these all taste the same, and I was like, bloom, 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 take them, and they're just like, and I think somebody else tried the challenge too, and they're like, man, I don't know. And I was just like, this, and this. And that's just like...
You went down the line.
Right on the money.
Yep.
It's just like, man, what a skill.
Yeah.
Like, it's like I drink PBR and I know things.
Yes.
That's just the way it is. So,
And people's palates are more or less sensitive, right? So being able to
for sure.
taste the difference between different lagers, people taste the difference between IPAs and everything.
Yep.
It's same diff, it's just what you have more taste buds in or more experience trying. So
Yep, I would agree. So here we go.
PBR Extra, slancha, everybody.
Slancha.
Oh, that is much more malty than a PBR.
Yep, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's malt forward, sweeter. Definitely sweeter than a PBR.
That is good.
Smooth and sweet,
For sure. Yeah, I like it.
It's bready. Kind of tastes like pumpernickel.
Ha! It's funny you mentioned that. Kinda, sorta.
Yeah, in a way.
Kinda, sorta. Wow. That is really good, actually.
That is quite tasty. And I believe regular PBR is 4 or 5% or something. This is 6.5.
This is 6.5.
So that's where the word extra comes from. But
Now, I
it's
see
tasty.
these are in the smaller, the 12 ounce?
Yep.
Typically, if you go out into restaurants and bars, they have the 16.
Yeah, the pints.
So I don't know if these come in that 16.
I don't believe so.
I think.
These are kind of rare to find, though. I mean, my background, for anyone that doesn't know, is I work for the distribution company that moves a lot of beer and energy drinks and different waters and stuff in northwestern Indiana, Chicagoland. And this is one of the products we carry. It does not move as much as regular PBR does. So,
Well, that makes sense.
yeah. But I like it, It's smooth, it's sweet. It's a lager,
it's definitely
so
sweet.
lagers aren't necessarily my forte, but I do enjoy this. This is a nice, easy drinking beer. This would be perfect for a summer day.
Yeah, it's definitely a little different on the tongue than your standard PBR. So I think it's that little bit of extra malt. I think that's kind of what you're getting in that, but it's not overwhelming. Let me be clear. It's not overwhelming at all. It's still very smooth. And I know Aiden had these stored very cold. So I'm not sure if it were more room temperature, if I would enjoy it.
Oh, yeah.
And malty beverages, warm, kind of But this, ice cold like you have it, excellent.
Beautiful. Yes,
Very good.
I would agree.
Very good.
And I'm not a huge lager guy. Typically, I enjoy my hazy or juicy IPAs. I love stouts and porters. Anything with some bitterness and sweetness to it, I'm a big fan of. But this is really tasty. I mean, I could go anywhere, but out of 5, I could go anywhere between 2.5 to 3 on this.
Sure.
Which is, I mean, that's good for a lager.
Yeah.
In my eyes.
And I'm more of a PBR guy. So
Right.
my rating's a little bit higher. I go a solid 3.5. I think PBR in general will be about a 3.5 to
Sure.
3.75 for me. So this is very good. If someone had it at a party or it was at a restaurant, I would order it.
Yes.
I definitely would.
Absolutely.
It's very good and refreshing. Like, to me, especially since we're approaching summer, I like those beers that you can yank out of the fridge. You've been doing yard work for 2
Yes.
hours, and you're
Yep.
hot, and you're pouring sweat, and you come inside, and you grab that ice cold beer, and like this would be in that collection.
Yes.
for me, of like beers
Absolutely.
I would grab. It's really good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I agree. Like, it's got the heart of a PBR, but the malt of a Steel Reserve, but it doesn't punch you in the dick like a Steel Reserve does.
Yes,
You know?
agreed.
It is very smooth. So, yeah, I like it.
Yeah, no doubt. Very
Yeah.
good. So highly recommend it. Once again, Pabst Blue Ribbon Extra, 6.5%. Check it out. It's good stuff.
Yeah, comes in that black can. Looks pretty slick.
The can is neat looking.
Not sponsored. Per
No,
usual.
well, and PBR, let's talk. So
yeah, well, you should.
I've consumed a lot of your beverage and mention it often on various podcasts / radio shows / you name it. And I think there should be some love.
Yeah.
I think there should be some love. It should be the Mark Moe Show as presented by
Yes.
Pabst Blue Ribbon. We got to work on that.
Yeah, we should. And honestly, it might be one of those things like they do in the movies where they put like tape over the Apple logo on MacBooks
Yes.
because Apple didn't give them any money for it.
Correct.
So maybe we have to stop mentioning PBR for them to notice, like, oh shit,
They're not talking about us anymore.
give them money.
And like a jilted lover,
Exactly.
they'll come right back into the camp. I get it. I like
Rope
the way
them back in.
I like the way you
Cast
think.
that line.
Cast line. Bzzz. I love it. Well, go out and get some.
Yeah, let us know.
Or
on
if
the
there's a beer you
socials.
want us to charge.
Yes.
Try. And then I'll charge it. That's how I'll buy it.
Well, yeah, we will put it on the charge card,
And then we'll drink it.
and then we'll drink it. Right.
Yeah. So if there's something you want us to try, hit us up.
And also let us know what you're trying at home.
No doubt.
For certainly.
Now is the final segment of the day.
What would that be?
The world of weird news.
Let's go.
The world is indeed filled with weird-ass news.
Damn right.
We could just do this segment based out of Florida.
That is true.
And there were some shows we've done that.
Yeah.
But this one, this out of New Zealand. This is the second one I've had out of New Zealand.
New Zealand is a fun place.
It is.
It's got character.
It does. It does.
A plucky spirit.
It definitely does. I give it 2 thumbs up. The blobfish, world's ugliest animal, wins New Zealand's Fish of the Year award. Didn't know they had that.
How did it win? This had to have been like a crowd vote.
Yeah.
That dude looks like a booger.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's really... So, okay, the blobfish, once dubbed the world's ugliest animal, has been named Fish of the Year by a New Zealand environmental group.
Honestly, you have a picture of the blobfish right in front of us.
Yes.
It kind of looks like one of my coworkers.
Oh, no.
I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to say which one. It looks like one of my coworkers, though.
He looks like a sad, bald, 60-year-old Polish guy who's just grumpy.
Yeah, it looks like you dipped Squidward tentacles in bleach.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good comment there. He's got a big-ass nose. Why does fish need a nose?
You don't need gills,
Like that.
bro.
No.
Holy.
And like as big and disgusting and slimy as he's got these little fins. I'm like, how does that move you anywhere?
Right. And his stupid fucking mouth. It almost looks like he's got a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah, no, that's no good. Yeah, if I caught one of those, I would shriek and then I would throw
Yeah.
them back. I'd be like, my friend, you get to live.
It looks like an inbred whale.
Yeah, like a whale bred with a 60-year-old grumpy Polish man.
Exactly.
That's exactly what
looks
that-
like some politicians out of Georgia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, no doubt. That's terrifying.
You know who we're talking about.
Hey-oh, I do. The blobfish, previously known for its unusual and somewhat unattractive appearance, has experienced a surprising turn of events. Last week, the blobfish was crowned Fish of the Year by a New Zealand environmental organization. According to Sky News, the Mountain to Sea Conservation Trust, it's a mouthful, holds the annual competition to raise awareness about the country's diverse marine and freshwater life. This year, the blobfish won the title with nearly 1,300 votes out of over 5,500 cast, proving that beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I love the way they write their articles in New Zealand, man. This kills me. And highlighting the importance of even the most unusual creatures in the ecosystem.
You're damn right.
The creature, which grows to about 12 inches,
It's a good size.
is known affectionately as Mr. Blobby. And is the
fucking Blobby.
Mr. Blobby. And is the official mascot of the Ugly Animal Preservation Society.
That's a society?
Ugly Animal.
Can I add myself to their list?
I'm planning on it. I'm planning on adding myself. It has a bulbous head
Yes.
and loose, flabby skin and lives in the deep sea, mainly off the southeastern coast of mainland Australia, the Australian island of Tasmania, and New Zealand. Well, that checks out.
Known for their devils.
No, they are. The species is believed to be able to live to 130 years old and is slow growing and slow moving.
I could have told you that.
Based on those fins, absolutely. Conrad Kurta, a spokesman from the Mountains to Sea Conservation Trust that runs the annual competition, told The Guardian, "It sort of sits there and waits for prey to come very close and practically walk into its mouth before it eats them."
Wow.
He says it is also a dedicated parent, with females laying up to 100,000 eggs in a single nest, which they protect until they hatch.
Wow.
The fish found fame over a decade ago after a crew member on a New Zealand research vessel snapped a photograph of the rarely seen animal. Its distinctive appearance was quickly adopted into meme culture.
My God.
So I highly recommend, ladies and gentlemen, Google blobfish
If you
or Mr. Blobby.
That's nuts.
Yes.
I love that method too. If you have a lifespan of 100 some odd years and you're lazy and ugly, that's all you have to do to win awards.
That's it. That's really...
It's like, my God, if my life expectancy was only bigger, I might be able to win an award.
You might be able to
something.
You might be able to pull something. But Mr. Blobby, he's got it figured out.
I love the fact that they just wait until prey gets near and then just open their mouths and be like, come on, I get it here, come on.
And the fact they're able to live that long means other fish probably swim up to it oh, I'm gonna
Yeah.
Well, boy, look at the time. I gotta feed the hog,
wash the car, the laundry.
Yeah, the other fish check out there knowing
yeah.
the hell I'm eating that thing. They're the perfect fish.
100,000 eggs in a nest.
It's a lot of eggs.
It's crazy.
It's a lot of blobs.
Wow. Impressive.
It is
impressive numbers.
All right, who's joining Mr. Blobby this week?
Mr. Blobby this week, I've got a story.
Okay.
ABC News 12, KSAT.
Hey.
Florida man.
Of course.
Dressed as Fred Flintstone, pulled over for driving footmobile.
No frickin' way.
The story's out of ABC 12 by Jeff Tavis, out of Wesley Chapel, Florida. A town I'm not familiar with. A Florida man, of course Florida man, was pulled over by law enforcement and given a citation. All sounds normal until you learn that he was dressed as Fred Flintstone and the vehicle he was driving was the footmobile made famous by the popular cartoon show.
Oh, no.
They add, but before you go all T-Rex on the cops, understand it was all fun. Apparently the 5-0 was in on the bit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Don Swartz, a.k.a. the Fred Flintstone, was driving around Pasco County area in his smart car, disguised as the footmobile.
Oh, no.
Pasco County deputy pulled him over for allegedly speeding in the neighborhood and issued him a notice to appear on their social media page.
Oh, no.
So it was all a bit, like he was doing a bit, 5-0 found out, and then they got in on the bit.
They got in on the bit.
So it was all in good fun, but it's still one of those things where it's like, honestly, it's the news organization pulling some strings, like, Florida man pulled over for driving footmobile. Like, no, 5-0 was in on it. But what got me was the images. And I know this is an audio podcast, so you can't necessarily see the images right now as a listener, but we'll put them up on socials.
Yes.
We will put them up on socials. You will see these images. They are as beautiful and perfect as you could ever expect.
Amazing.
I mean, it's something special. He went full in on the costume. He dressed up his smart car.
Yep.
To fit it perfectly. So we will put those on the socials. You'll be able to see the smart car, but just, I don't know how Florida man always does it.
Always does it. And the thing that got me about that whole story is the fact, right, the Fred Flintstone mobile, powered by your feet, arrested for speeding. How fast is he running,
right.
man? It's like Usain Bolt doing this shit. I mean, holy cow.
Oh, man. Yeah, that I feel like that may have been part of the bit of like, A, you're in a smart car, and B, you're on foot in the smart car. But yeah, it was...
If you're the cop, don't you kind of go up and be like, hey, yabba dabba, don't speed anymore?
Yeah, right.
I mean, you got if you're into the bit...
You have to full lean.
You have to full lean.
You have to full lean
I
into
agree
it.
with that. There's no doubt.
God bless Florida men.
Oh, they keep this segment alive.
How do they keep getting away with it?
I know. Yeah, totally. Well, that's it for this week. We did it. Another show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. We're on all podcast platforms and YouTube and everything else. And once again, DM us if you want us to try beers or you just want us to answer your questions or whatever. Store your mother's. We do it all. We really
Credit
card, sweat pills. We got it all. So definitely hit us up. I want to thank once again my co-host Aiden Maloney, podcast AK219. More content going up on your personal page lately?
Yes, yeah. AK219 is going to be on potential hold until Kevin Pullage...
Until we find him. He might be in a carpet.
Till he damn shows his face around here again. But yeah, you can check me out on Aiden Spelled the Right Way on YouTube. There should be links in the description somewhere.
For sure. No doubt about that. And we'll also want to thank local supporters of the show, Jatonia Greek Grill, Smoketown Blues Barbecue, Valpo Family YMCA, Curry Ford of Valpo, Curry Buick GMC, Simcoe Signs, Life Centers of Valpo, and the Entertainer Magazine. And thanks for listening, and we will catch you again next week for our 10th episode.